Welcome back. My name is Candace Sanderson, and I thank you for joining me today. As the title of this episode states, let's dive right in. Lately, I've been speaking about new beginnings, how to embrace a different path in life. I want to share something that happened with me recently. I was with a couple of friends, and together we listened to a meditation from Monroe Institute. I love their meditations. They use sound-based technology called Monroe Sound Science. It is super easy because all you do is put on headphones or use earbuds, and you let the frequencies do the work for you. Before the meditation even began, I felt tingling in my feet. Now, these energy vibrations are often the first sign for me that I'm entering an altered state. Many years ago, people thought a strong, powerful vibration was a prerequisite for any out of body experience. But that has changed over time, and many people bypass these energy waves altogether. Or, like me, they may manifest as tingles, no longer powerful, teeth jarring vibrations. As soon as the meditation started, I melted into the chair, becoming a pool of liquid silver, shimmering with life on its surface. I had slipped into the 5D, so I was not surprised when the following message arrived. These are living waters, for you are but a drop in the ocean, all one, moving in rhythm with all that is. Living waters, for you are but a drop. That told me that I had become the living waters. And of course, that made sense because I had observed my energy body melt into this slow boiling puddle of liquid silver. But those words, living waters, I am pretty sure this is connected to something from a few days before when I watched a YouTube video I had recorded in 2023. The title of that video, Living Waters. Last week in a social media chat, someone quoted me from that older video. They posted a link to that YouTube episode, so I watched it. I heard myself describe a profound 5D experience where I connected with my mother-in-law who had just passed a few days before. I conversed with other deceased loved ones who had welcomed her when she crossed over. My husband, his father, and other family members. I reached this beautiful state of consciousness by interacting with the field of unity that allowed me to dissolve into nothingness. I became everything, yet nothing at all. I also slipped out of time and space to revisit some of my earlier life events. I made these connections in 2023 through a vision where I saw what looked like water in a well. Its glassy surface reminded me of a mirror. Minutes later, the messengers referred to this liquid as living waters. I understood the mirror connection. These so-called living waters, like a mirror, reflected me and all of humanity as we emulate aspects of all that is. This brings up a couple of points that I did not think about in 2023. First of all, the well analogy. With the well, we look inside as opposed to looking up like through a telescope to go out there. Both the telescope and the well are like that tunnel that some people describe during near-death experiences, Or you could say it was like a wormhole that we can use to zoom through the cosmos. But here's the difference, a very significant one that I didn't understand till now. With the well, we peer into it, we look down. So, in other words, we look inward. Yes, we go within to go out of body. In this 2023 experience, I knew this mirror like surface was a dimensional barrier, a living, inviting separation between the 3D and the 5D. Now the experience is duplicated, but the living waters are no longer a mirror, a reflection. I had become the living waters. I had melted into this puddle of living, breathing liquid that was teeming with life. I was that puddle. Yes, these waters were certainly living. As I watch my body become a pool of liquid silver, I am surprised when I see it transform into the top of a drum, a tall conga type drum. I immediately understand that the large, deep base of the drum represents the void, what Bob Monroe refers to as focus 15, a state of no time. My eyes return to the silvery covering of the drum that had once been me. I was the living waters, the connective tissue to bring me to the void, the fifth dimension. I received the following message. These frequencies begin with you. The void itself determines how deep you go, where you go, to use human terms. From the outside, you see flat, moving waters, but beneath is where the action occurs. Like fish rising to the top to feed, memories bubble to the surface in response to your vibrational frequencies. I understand and appreciate the drum analogy. This is where vibrations start, after all. We are vibrational beings. These living waters are the interface that the messengers tell me about between dimensional realms. The rich, deep sounds when you strike the surface of a drum depends on the dimensions of the drum base. Likewise, the deeper and wider we explore the void, the richer our out-of-body experiences become. The message continues. Sink into those vibrations. Sink below, within. As commanded, I sink into the vibrations and I slip deeper into my out-of-body state. Immediately, I begin shrinking, yet I know it is only my perspective. It is the void that increases in size. The shrinking that I perceive is related to the increasing vastness of the void as I explore deeper within. Now, at this point, I recall a quote from Einstein. He had said, as the area of light expands, so does the perimeter of darkness. As I scribble this quote in my journal, thank goodness for my scribe dear, I hear, as do you. I see myself, which is my observer, viewing my experiencer self, and I twist and twirl in ultra slow motion, like an astronaut in the darkness of deep space. I am free, released from all earthly ties. I am boundless energy. The observer me pans back and watches the experiencer me evaporate. The outline of my physical body dissolves as easily as a child erasing a pencil drawing. An opening is created for my essence to spill deep into this mystical void. And at that point, I say, I am everywhere. I am everything. I am all that is. The atoms and molecules that had been my physical body push away from each other as they rush toward freedom and independence. As they do so, they create more space, more expansion. I feel the effects and I realize there is nothing which I am not. The message continues. This is the place for manifestations to occur. Everything is at your fingertips, as humans often state. As soon as I heard that, I see myself flicking my wrist in ultra slow motion. And as I do so, I send ripples across the space-time continuum. And then I hear, for there is no space, for there is no time. Step into the void where manifestations are birthed. The meditation at this point is coming to an end. And although I had not really listened to it or followed it, I now realize it is about a garden filled with flowers. As I prepare by sitting up and returning to the 3D, I see the liquid silver me, the one that had been stretched over the drum that represented the void. And it changes. It is no longer the top of a conga drum, but it becomes the surface of a bird bath in the center of a lush flower garden. I am surrounded by very vibrant colors that I've never seen before with my physical eyes. My gaze returns to the water's surface and I notice movement. But why is it moving? I don't feel any wind. I see splashes, and my first thought is maybe it's sprinkling. But no, that's not it. As I draw closer, my questions are answered. There are tiny fairies and water sprites diving in and out of the water. They are weaving in and out of the interface, that barrier between dimensions. They flicker in and out of the 3D and the 5D, moving playfully, rapidly. They zip into our 3D world with ease, comfort, happiness, freedom. Then I hear the following. See the waters, the living waters, for they are awaiting your return. I smile, waiting for my return. Of course, the bird bath makes a perfect bookmark, and viewing it in the center of a lush flower garden is like icing on a cake. It makes it even sweeter, more enticing, and certainly easier to find. If you are new to my channel, my messengers have shared how to bookmark 5D events for efficient returns. That bookmark works like a GPS pin. I will certainly return to this bird bath. It's an easy and memorable entrance to the 5D. I will connect with those fairies and water sprites and dive right in. Won't you join me? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. When we are looking for something new, something to help us not just survive but thrive in challenging times? Look for a new beginning. Why not seek wisdom from within? Why not meditate and touch those spaces where our angels and guides reside? Gather strength, compassion, and wisdom in that field of endless wisdom and energy, and bring those frequencies back into your 3D lives. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Until next time, remember the importance of kindness. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. So until next time, goodbye.